Alright, fog racing, back 10 hours fucking later, as SpongeBob would say, with the driver ratings. It's a good job Hamilton's halo's not made out of a sponge, or else his wee head might have been
snapped.
might have had a sore one. We might have woke up thinking he'd wrestled a match with Benoit.
It's weird though, how many incidents since Halo's been introduced? There's actually been so many like that, but before it there was barely any.
Yeah, but let's be real, would he really have died today without that? It would hit him in the head a wee bit.
No, not the wheel. Do you not see the fucking barge board? Fucking full side of his car. Fucking hell.
Ah, but they're made of fucking like aluminium. There's no weight in them.
Oh, fuck, alright then. Remember Alex Furtz and Coulthard in Australia? See fucking how close he came to him?
Mark Henry could snap one of these cars in half if he wanted to.
Right, I think we're getting a wee bit off topic here. You give your
world's strongest man.
You give your wee thoughts on the race, Sarah, man.
In my opinion, pretty boring race. Apart from obviously the collision between the two title contenders. If that doesn't happen, then the race goes down as lackluster. And I wish that didn't happen because I had a bet on.
Well, I actually think the race would have been more interesting without those two crashing because.
Oh, did it get interesting without those two?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Well, there you go, boom.
I actually feel like they would. No, but see when they came out, they were still both behind both McLarens. And
no,
they were all going to the end.
No, it would have been. I'm not saying that. It would have been interesting with those two in it because I wanted to see if they could have caught the McLarens. But what I'm saying is, that was the only interesting thing in the race.
Aye. Alright, well, yeah, alright. We'll move on, though.
Right, so, what was interesting? Because to me, I felt you knew it was going to be a McLaren 1 too.
Well, I thought strategy is pretty good because you didn't know who was going to fall into place. Bottas going long, who's going to do the first stop. I mean, it wasn't a fucking 10 or a 9 or an 8. Well, it was like a 6. But...
we all knew Bottas wasn't going to fucking take the lead and win. And...
Anyway, guys, let's fucking dive in, right? You're a prick. Danny Ricciardo, he did the shoe, as you can see. He won.
F1 people don't like this prick, and you're a prick, and all this banter.
F1 people.
They like serious talk, like the tennis people.
Can I be serious for a moment?
Aye, Lance Storm.
Right, let's be serious for a moment.
Lance Storm, out of here. Right, that's it. We're going to do player driver ratings. We're going to do driver ratings right now. Name our shite talking. You've had 2 minutes of shite talking. It's time to get serious. And up first, we've got the guy that is seriously pish, Shinoda.
Oh, we're starting from the bottom, now we're here.
We're starting from the bottom and we're on our way to the top. I'm
going to give this guy a 3.
That's generous. Knocked out in Q1 again.
His lap get deleted though.
Where would that put him? 16th?
Right, yeah. Right. I'm giving him a 3. I could give him a 1, but I'm used to him being that shit. I feel like giving him a 1 would make it seem like...
Yeah, you know what? Right, I think a 3... Is that fuck 3 fail? Look at Gastly's doing.
Right, I'll give him a 1 then.
Get
my logic?
I'll give him a 2 because he didn't have an opportunity to do anything in the race.
Alright, yes, okay. Okay, we'll give him a 2 then.
I think if he did get to the race, I'd have probably give him a 1 because he wouldn't have done anything in the race anyway.
Yep.
But, he never had a chance to redeem himself, so a 2 it is. But the guy's shite. The guy is seriously shite.
Yep.
Right, moving on to Gastly.
I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, no, great qualifying, but he was...
unlucky at the sprint, and that fucked him.
Yeah, and he was never going to recover pit lane start, and it was always going to be damage limitations today, and there wasn't much limitations, so... Aye, Gastly, I think a 6 is... I'm going to give him a 5, okay. 5.5. At the end of the day, I mean...
Next 2 should be interesting.
At the end of the day, I think he could have maybe avoided the collision in the sprint race, so... But again, I mean, he qualifies top 6 again. For me, arguably, driver of the season.
Yes.
We'll see. Lamb's right. Up next,
we'll do a full driver ratings at the end.
Up next, we've got Lulu Hamilton.
I think one of his worst weekends. He got out-qualified by Bottas yesterday. Was shocking. He dropped back. And in the day, Bottas was actually overtaking people. And Hamilton just didn't do anything. And then, I feel like he's more responsible for the incident.
Don't say that. Johnny Herbert will come to your house and party.
See the amount.
Serious.
See the amount of times Rosberg lost out to Hamilton. It's fucking every time Max is beating Hamilton, unless it's Hamilton taking him out. I think every time they've came wheel to wheel, Max is always getting the upper hand.
Yeah.
I feel like Hamilton's lost a step in that regard.
The only way Hamilton gets the upper hand is if Max retires for the fucking race.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I will give Lewis Hamilton I'll give him a 4. I feel like he was off it this weekend.
Right.
I feel like the Mercedes was easily the quickest car, and yet he did nothing with it.
I'm giving them a 3.
Okay.
Thought he was poor. Like you said, out-qualified by Bottas. Sprint race, I mean, you could argue maybe it wasn't his fault, he got a bad start, but he never, again, he still had like 17, 18 laps to come up through the field, he didn't. And then today, didn't really impose himself at the start, almost got past Norris, didn't, got ran wide by Verstappen, going into turn 3, maybe he should have settled for third place, and took the race for there, didn't. Norris got back past him, didn't really do anything, he did get past Norris, but touchdown, Kansas City Chiefs. So he didn't get past Norris till it was pretty much too late, and then when he did get past Norris, Norris did the undercut, so it was kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, like if these two don't crash, they're still behind the McLarens, and I think Hamilton would have finished 4th.
Yeah, plus he was on the medium tyre, and how do we know they would have lasted good to the end? Or?
Well, you can kind of judge it off what Bottas did, which was overtake Ferraris and then fucking sit there.
I put this. I don't think without the crash, I still don't think either of these drivers win the race.
Yeah, I think it still would have been Danny Rick.
Yeah, they struggled to. I mean, who knows? Right? Maybe they would have. I mean, Hamilton did get past Norris, but that could have been because Norris's tyres were going slightly off. He wouldn't have had that advantage. You
could clearly tell by the first stint by the end of it.
Yep, he wouldn't have had that advantage towards the end of the race. So it would have been Hamilton actually who had the disadvantage. So I still think Ricciardo would have won this race. 3.5 for Hamilton.
Right, next up we have Max Verstappen. I think you can clearly tell the Red Bull was a slower car. He qualified third. I think was the best he could have done. He got pole position because Bottas sent the back of the grid. And then the day he did lose out to Danny Rick, which in reality for him should have been an easy win.
It's not really his fault about the slow pit stop. Not a lot he can do about that. And then, obviously, I don't really think it's his fault, the Hamilton thing. For me, it's a racing incident.
I'll give him a...
You could argue, I get it, it's an optimistic move, but I still don't think Hamilton left him any space. But at the same time...
If Max doesn't go for that, I lose respect.
But at the same time, 9 times out of 10 that would happen. Both drivers would have a wee collision of wheels, but they'd be fine.
I know.
And this just happened to be the one time where it took each other out. I'll give Max a 5.
Yes, I'll give him a 5.
Boom, up next we've got Mazepin.
Again, I'll give him a 3. Did nothing.
Did he not take it his teammate as well?
Well, yeah, I'll give him a 3.
3,
he does that a few times.
I mean, yeah.
Next
when you're in the slowest car, the only guy you can really, compare yourself to is your teammate, and at the moment, I think Schumacher's got the better of him, so yeah, 3 for Mazepin. Right, up next, Mick Schumacher.
Had a few run-ins today with his teammate, Vettel. He hit Vettel as well, but he's still quicker than Mazepin. I'll give him a 5. I don't see how you can ever rate the Haas drivers like above a 6, unless they fucking
score about 20 million points.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 4, so 4.5.
I just hope for these guys' sake the Haas is actually alright next season, because this is doing fuck all for them.
Yeah, no, careers are stagnant at the moment. Right, here we go. Up next, got Robert Kibbetzer, the man with one arm.
I'll give him a 5. Again...
He did better than I thought he would do.
Yeah, he's thrown into the deep end in a car, albeit, yes, Giovinazzi's been up there, but we've seen recently Kimi has not been up there.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a 5.
I'll give him a 5 as well. I think that's fair. Right, up next, got Giovinazzi.
Great qualifying. Race, he got took out by Sainz, even though he gets the penalty for it. Well, I say he got took out by...
I don't think he left Sainz enough room, unfortunately.
He didn't, but you know what? His qualifying was... I will give Gio a 6.
I'm giving him a 6. If he doesn't make that mistake with Sainz, I mean, he could be looking at an 8 here or something like that. I would have loved to see him in the race. Definitely deserved points today, but unfortunately didn't get it.
Next up,
Sebastian Vettel, very mediocre weekend for him.
See, that's what I come to expect of the guy.
Yeah,
he's fucking nowhere.
I think it would be an injustice if this guy finishes ahead of Stroll in the standings this year. He just, he's had a fluke couple of races where the races where he's happened to beat Stroll has been the races where Aston Martin have finished high up. You know what I mean? Like, every other time Stroll beats him, it's for 9th or 10th place. But when Vettel manages to somehow fluke a result over Stroll,
here, right? You're clear.
Plus, can I just say, it's not like Stroll is not a world beater by any means.
Yeah, and see here, you could clearly tell that
he finished behind Latifi, for fuck's sake. Latifi.
See, this weekend, you could clearly tell it was Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari in a class of their own. Then it was Aston Martin, and then behind that, fuck knows. Well, AlphaTauri were up there with Gastly, but Alpine were nowhere, Williams were nowhere, but yet this guy...
He finished by both of them.
Yeah. Latifi, like...
Wow, Latifi, that's... Big up Latifi. Yeah,
I'm going to give Vettel...
I'm giving him a 2.
It's shocking. But again, similar to Tsunoda, I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised, like, but to me, this was a make or break season for Vettel. He was going to Aston Martin, and I think if he was still to be regarded as even one of the better drivers on the grid or a top driver, whatever, he had to beat Stroll. And I don't care if he's ahead of him in the standings, head to head, he's losing.
Yeah.
And I think he'll lose the battle come the end. I think Stroll will outscore him. Is it Hülkenberg? Ignore that sound in the background. That was just the noise of me. That was just the noise of me losing more money.
Next up, look at Nicholas Latifi beat Russell in sprint in the race, and then he just finished outside the points.
Wait, does that mean he out-qualified Russell for the first time?
Technically doesn't count as an out-qualifying though.
But getting first in counts as pole position?
No, it doesn't. Not Bottas. It does it?
No, it does. It does. That's what it said.
Well, maybe it does then.
So whoever gets first counts as pole position. But Bottas getting it in the thing doesn't count. But him getting it in the sprint race counts.
But it's not. You know what? It's a fucking blurred line. But you know what, Latifi, I'll give him a 6. I feel like this guy.
Tell you what, he's improved a lot this season. I thought
same with him and Giovinazzi, like.
Yeah.
Both improved. But a 6, I'll give him a 6.
I think a 6 is very... I think a 6 is very fair.
Right.
Ocon. Nah, you know what? I'm giving him a 7. Fuck it. Just to decide the points. I'm giving him a 7. I think he was good.
Alright, I'll give him a 6.5.
Oh, sorry, alright. 6.5.
Right, next up with Esteban. Ocon finished P10. The Alpine was pish. I mean, he squeezed Vettel and got a penalty for it. I mean...
Very harsh. I think he should have at least got the warning flag. I don't believe for a second if a top driver does... If Lewis Hamilton does that for starting...
Leclerc did it to Hamilton 2 years ago when nothing happened. He got the black and white flag.
Did he not do it a couple of times?
No, but it's not like he squeezed Vettel, like, and Vettel hit the wall. Like, fuck all came from it.
I know. Very harsh, like, not to get a warning.
I'll give him a...
I'll give him a 6. I think it was pretty slow.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Right, up next, George Russell.
I will give George Russell a 7. It wasn't a great weekend. Like, I feel like, he wasn't as good in qualifying, and he got beat by Latifi. But you know what? He got points in a car that's fundamentally pish. So I'll give him a 7.
And he's going to be driving for Merck next season, so I'll give him a wee bonus for that.
Yep.
7, right, up next, Fernando Alonso, best driver on the grid, in my opinion.
And I feel like all he could have did today... minute maximum was beat Stroll, and I believe Stroll's still under investigation, so he might still do that. But again, good drive, but I'll give him a 7.
7 seems fair enough to me. I'm going to give him a 7 as well.
Okie dokie. Right, next up with Lance Stroll, he kind of topped the leading group of that bunch of cars. But again, I think Aston were the quickest car, so I will give Lance Stroll a 7.
Yeah, 7 seems fair. He's beat his teammate by quite a bit, but I think he had the advantage that he had over the other cars, you know. I can't really give him that much credit for beating.
Aston were kind of in no man's... Well, Stroll was kind of in no man's land.
But does that not mean Vettel should have been finishing 8th here?
Yeah, I think... Well, they were side by side in the opening lap, and Stroll kind of forced Vettel wide, and then that Vettel got overtook by like 2 people. But
good on Stroll.
We didn't really take that into consideration about Vettel, but...
Get it up, Stroll. Nah, but...
He's still pish.
Yes, isn't he? I'll give Stroll a 7.
Right, next up...
Do you think people are going to look at these driver ratings and think we're biased towards...
Hey guys, you don't like Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. Well, we don't like Tsunoda either. Right, next up with Sainz. I feel like again with Ferrari, they were kind of stuck in no man's land where the car just... It wasn't really good enough to challenge the other top 3 teams, but at the same time was good enough to beat the rest. So I will give Carlos Sainz... I'll give him a... I'll give Sainz a 6. What are you giving Sainz? He finished bottom of the group. He should have been. The group
he's battling.
Yeah.
I thought he had a bit of a. I'll give him a 6. I mean, again, beat by Leclerc. I mean, never really looked like challenging. I guess. No, I think that's a bit fair. I think
next up with Sergio Perez, I'm going to give this guy a 3. I feel like it was fucking all over the place. It really qualifying pish sprint. pish. He overtakes a guy, doesn't let him through, and you think he'd learn from that, but no, he does the exact same thing the day, and then it essentially cost Red Bull points to Mercedes. So fuck him, free.
Yeah, today Red Bull, after that incident,
if they tell
Red
him
Bull should be Red Bull should be outscoring Mercedes here, and they didn't.
Put it this way, right? Say Leclerc gets a podium and Perez beats Bottas. They're gaining 2 points there for 4th and 5th, but in reality they've lost 5 points.
Madness.
7-point swing.
Yeah, I'll give him a 3 as well. I think a 3 is a bit fair. Up now, we've got Charles Leclerc.
He called this himself.
Said it was in his top 5 races of his career. I don't think I'd go that far.
No. But I will go as far as saying it probably I'd probably say the highest rated so far, because I think the Ferrari was clearly worse than the other 3.
And he did mix it up as well. He did get in amongst the McLarens, and even though I don't think the McLaren... Again, I think Ferrari was one of those cars that were in like a bit of league of their own. I mean, they were better than Aston Martin, but I think they were a lot slower than the top 3 teams. So I'm going to go... I think Leclerc an 8. I think an 8's a bit fair.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8.
Big up 8.
Next up, with Valtteri Bottas.
I thought this guy was not going to get points today. I cannot lie. But at qualifying, he puts it on pole in the sprint race, gets sent to the back, comes through the grid. Was it most of the race he was the fastest driver on the track, actually overtake people by like lap 10, he was already, lap 8 or something, lap 8 or 9, he was already in the points. For me, driver of the day, I'm giving him a 9.
Yeah, I'll give him a 9. I feel like he still should have got higher. Like, I think he kind of bottled it on Perez. I feel like he should have got past Perez. But would he get past both McLarens? I don't know. But definitely a 9.
Nah, I think the McLarens were too fast today on the straights.
Probably. Right, next up though, with Lando Norris qualified with 4th. Finished in the sprint race with 4th, but then started 3rd. And then basically played the team game. He says he could have had a go at Ricciardo if he wanted to, but he played the team game, which I find interesting. But I don't think he would have got fucking...
Nah, if fucking Max can't get past Ricciardo, and then Hamilton can't get past Norris, I don't think he's in the same car. But then again, I think McLaren is the fastest on a straight line probably, so I mean, maybe.
But yeah, I'll give Lando Norris...
I'll
give him an 8.
An 8, I think, yeah, an 8's fair.
Alright, and...
Because let's keep them... I mean, it might look like these guys are getting great positions, but in reality, I mean, they're just moving up to because Hamilton... I mean, like...
I know, but I think these two probably would have finished above them anyway, so that's unfair to say that.
Maybe. I'll give him an 8 as well. And
you're talking about, but you just literally said that Max and Hamilton couldn't get past these two, and then you said just literally they're not.
Yeah, no, but let's be real. The pit stops as well. It was 2 slow pit stops. It was the only reason Norris beat them. You can make a case Ricciardo would have won the race regardless. That's why I'm...
I know, but you shave a second off Hamilton's, and then it's basically a normal pit stop, and Norris probably would be like side by side with like Max was. But anyway, 8 out of 10 for Lando. But next up, we've got the race winner, a guy that's been shite all season. And for me, like, people are probably going to be dishing out 10s and 9s to Danny Rick, but I'll give him an 8 for the simple reason is I think the guy is good, and on his day, he can be great. So I'm not really, like, massively taking it back. This is what I'm not saying he should be winning all season, but he should be beating Norris. He should be fighting for the odd podium in this McLaren. So it's an 8 for me.
I'm going to give him a 9. For the reason being is that I thought he was faster than... Well, he was faster than Norris today. And I think without the incidents, I think without the slow pit stops, and I think without the crash, I still think he would have won the race. Whereas I don't think without the slow pit stops, Norris would have finished second. And obviously, he out-qualified Norris. So, yeah, I'm giving him a 9. I think a 9's fair.
8.5.
So an 8.5.
I think those ratings are pretty fair.
So that's it, guys. There you go. Boom. Highest rated guy is Valtteri Bottas. He gets our driver of the day. And lowest rated driver, that goes joint between Vettel and Tsunoda. Enjoy it. That is it. And until next time, until the next race, peace.
Russia.